Good morning to you all. Very unusual time, 10 o'clock Slovak and 9 o'clock UK time. We are joining you today, and as always, I welcome Susanna in a little moment who is joining us. Today we have, I'm really looking forward to this subject because a lot of us in our age are now married and kind of live this married life, not all of us, but many of us. And so we prepared the subject called what married women miss most about being single. And I look forward to this because it's going to be very interactive. We look forward to your comments. Let's just have a fun with it. And I'm so curious about how you have it, and we are going to share and just have fun with it all. I'm going to invite Susanna to our streaming, and in the meantime, welcome everyone. And we will soon ask you questions. But first, I'm going to welcome Susanna. Susie, welcome. And hello.
Hi, thank you. Yes, hi everyone. Hi, Lucy.
Thank you so much for finding time to be with us. We needed to adjust the time a little bit so Zuzka can come. I thought I will go alone, but then I sent Zuzka a subject of this, and she said, "Oh my God, it's such a good, theme, good stuff to talk about." And she said, "I make a time." So we are streaming today at 9 o'clock UK time. So welcome and thank you for all of you who choose to join us, even this unusual time. I know a lot of you are at work. Today we are talking about what married women miss most about being single. And my God, we are going to have fun with this. Huh?
Yes. That's why I couldn't miss this one. I was like, oh, this is a good one. Well, they're all good, but like this, we're going to have fun talk here. So
I know,
yeah.
I know. I must say, when I was preparing this, when I was writing article about this subject, I had a lot of fun myself, and I always have a fun with these, but this specifically was like really good kind of, I had an opportunity to also pause and kind of think about my own relationship, and it's a good one.
Yes.
It's a good one, and hopefully it will serve you as well to think about yours. Just yesterday I celebrated 11 years with my husband, and touch wood is going well, and I'm very, very grateful. So wherever you are, married or not, even those of you who are not married, this can be very interesting to listen to. And if you think it's good subject, also share with those who can have fun with us. And I want to encourage you to comment. Very briefly, we will introduce ourselves. Susie, I give you voice.
Thank you. Yes. So thank you for having me, and happy anniversary, Lucy.
Thank you.
How many years?
11 years.
11 years. Yeah. So happy anniversary. So I'm Susanna Taylor. I'm transformational business coach and EFT practitioner. I'm a mom of 2, a boy and girl, and I love traveling. I love anything that's to do with mindset, psychology, personal energy, everything, people. And I help women to build successful businesses, but the way that is aligned with them. So they feel confident, they feel their true self, they feel in their own skin, and based on that, they build a life and business that they really love and want, and that is aligned with them. And I love what I do.
And it shows. And I love it because we all love to have career or business that works in line with our lives. And I think it's very important because I always believe that it's wonderful when it goes hand in hand, when it's authentic what you do, and when there is no separation between what you do professionally and what you do in your life. It is beautiful when it merges together, when it supports one another, supports like your family supports your business and vice versa. It's great.
Exactly. It doesn't separate. It's when that happens, and when you do that, it doesn't separate. It's not like this is business or this is what I do, and this is my love.
Mm.
It's all together. And yeah, and it works with the, it has to work with the family.
You're still muted, Zuzi. Zuzka, if you can hear me, you're still muted. We can't hear you. Oh, Zuzi, you're muted. I can't hear you. You're muted. Something has been pressed. I've got a mute on your side. I let Zuzka to, okay, she will join us again. So in the meantime, very quickly, I will introduce myself for those of you who don't know me, and many of you know me. So my name is Lucia Hoxna. I'm fertility mindset coach, and I support women all over the world in the area of relationships. And I have been doing this for the past 20 years. I love what I do, and I still am fascinated about people and interested in their lives, and just kind of living and breathing for me. I think relationships are probably one of the most important things, and everything involves around relationships when you think about it in your life. Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your partner, with your loved ones, your closest people, your family, and then relationship with your work. What's your relationship with with the world? How you, yeah, it's a very broad subject. So I love being in this realm, and exploring, and most importantly supporting you on your journey towards living the life you truly love. So that's me professionally. Other than that, I'm mom of 2 little girls who are not so little anymore. We will be 4 in September. Very happily married. Now I live in Slovakia, 20 years in UK, and plenty of, I used to play tennis professionally, believe it or not. Anyway, so that's a little bit about me. And today, for those of you who are joining us, we are talking about what married women miss about being single. So slowly we are going to start. I'm just going to find Zuzka in, and bring her back on a camera. Hopefully her volume will be good now. Zuzi, can you hear us?
Hi, I can hear you. Could you not hear me?
Oh, it was a little mute button here, and I was like, oh my God, she's muted. I'm not sure where you stopped. Sorry, we didn't hear you from.
Sorry about that.
We heard the majority of your introduction. So thank you very much. Just
sorry
don't
about
touch
that.
the camera anymore.
No, I had a phone call.
Oh,
had a call coming in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You just cancel it. Sometimes that happens. So guys, married or single? First question. Let us know who is watching us at the moment, or maybe from replay, if you're married or single, and just write down married and thumbs up, like happy married, or married thumbs down, or single thumbs up, or single thumbs down. Okay, so just in the comments, if you want, let us know, just so we know who is listening right now. And yes, I guess we will start with the fact that it is wonderful to be married, and it's also wonderful to be single, and it's very individual. It can work for many people to be single, or they have a kind of different kind of arrangements. And when I'm saying, you can be in partnership and choose not to be married, or you can be single and still waiting for the one, or you can be just recently divorced and thinking, I want to have a break for a while because that's what works for me right now. Wherever you are, this is just like little conversation, and about the benefits of being single and married. And I would love you to share about how it is in your world. So maybe I'll also say, saying yes to being married is a big commitment. And we are saying yes in health, and in good health, and in bad. We are saying yes at times of difficulties. We are saying yes to that other one to spend the rest of our lives with. Ideally, that's what we would like to have and experience. And I believe when we are giving our vows, we truly believe that is forever and that is going to last and the love will last. And may that, I wish it would happen for all of us. But for example, in my first marriage, it also didn't work out. And it's all good because, you know, we are all on a journey and we are learning experiences and so on. But, you know, also I want to say when we say yes, it doesn't mean that we are saying yes to owning other person or that other person owns us. It's very important that nobody ever owns anyone. Even our children don't belong to us. They are our children, but we don't own them. And, you know, we can talk about it more, but hopefully it makes sense. So um, let's talk about like first thing maybe that when I was thinking about it, what we kind of miss about being single, even if we are happily married. Susie, do you want to go for it?
Yeah, I mean, it was when you send the theme, and I was like, okay, well, that is going to give me some food for thought. What am I going? You know, what do I really miss? So it was really good to have that kind of thought and intention. Like, I'm gonna tune in and think about what do I really miss, because I mean, I've been married for how many years now? 13 13 years, but we've been together, like we were together before that, so about 19 years together, 18, 19. And so it's a long time, so I got used to living in that kind of like partnership relationship, you know. So I really had to like dig deep, like what am I really missing? But then it's like, well, I'm gonna think about the daily things, or things, the little things,
Yeah,
that I'm missing. Not really. And then I thought, well, I'm not really missing it, because, you know, it's part of the journey, and then it's part of the journey, and, you know, this is my choice. I was single, or, you know, lived life before that. I lived when I wasn't married. I've done it all. I got married a bit later. I was 33 when I got married, and I had my first son, first child. I was 37. So it wasn't that early. So I was like, well, I've done it all. And so, but what the little things that I miss, or that are really there, is the daily things, like when, like sharing, like you have that, like not having to share things, or, you know, like sharing bed, for example. It's nice to I like to have my own space, and within time, like in that marriage, we learn each other's, what we like, what we don't like, what we need. And again, it was a journey, and then children come, so you have to adjust as well. But my husband knows that I need my space, my children knows, we all do. So, but that bed is something that, yes, I like to have. I miss having the bed to myself. So, and when the children come to bed. But if it's like Saturday morning or Sunday morning, you know, and I want to have a longer, like after a long week, and I want to have a long sleep in on the Saturday morning, and they come to bed at 7 o'clock. It's like, oh, can I please have a little bit more time? And I just sometimes, just even when I wake up, I need a little bit of time to, or I like to, just to kind of stretch and just think about things, or just having time to wake up. But that doesn't happen anymore, because the kids are there straight away, and the things are happening. So yeah, that's the first thing.
I think what I miss when my husband is here, because we try to eat together. But what I like when he's not around, because he's working abroad, is that I can eat anytime, and anything.
Yeah.
like what I like. But you know, I mean, it's not too bad because we are, I must say that I'm very fortunate in all this thing because my husband is very flexible. You know, there are some husbands who need the food at certain times and
Yeah.
who, you know, ready and family together. I mean, it's not possible. We are kind of very flexible in this way because it's not even possible with kids this small to kind of eat together. We are glad that we feed them and then we kind of fit ourselves around them somehow. But you know, like I like to have that, you know, complete flexibility about when I eat and what I eat, and you know, when we eat together, that's also nice. When it
Yes.
works out that, you know, I don't know, like breakfast, when my husband is here and he's go to kindergarten, we drop them in a kindergarten and I make his favorite eggs that I like as well,
Yeah.
and then we sit down and we eat together, and that's really special. That is
Mm.
not something that we do religiously, but you know, like, so I don't really miss it because I created myself anyway. But uh, I when I was doing a little research and I was asking my friends, they've been saying, you know, in terms of sharing, that they miss to have the you know, being in charge of the remote control, you know,
Okay.
the football thing with men. But again, you know, like, now in families, and in some ways it separates the families, in terms of, you know, like there is a TV not on
Yes.
in every room. So I I guess there's always way around all these things, but when partners want to be together, they are trying to find some kind of correlation, right? Like, what do
Yeah.
we watch together that we
My
both enjoy?
my husband doesn't watch football. So I'm kind of happy. But it's I've got two children, and we had that kind of dilemma of having another TV, and we've got another one, but it's in my husband's office. We purposely put it there because we like that, you know, time together. So what we do, we end up watching children's programs all the
Yeah,
time because
yeah.
they watch TV, and it's like, okay, so their TV is on all the time, um and it's actually good in a way. And then in the evening when they go to bed, then it's our time. They go to bed at a certain time, and then it's our time to be together and to watch. If they want to stay up longer, sometimes they do because they're at that age, and we let them stay up longer, but we choose something that we want to watch, and that is
Hmm.
suitable
Yeah.
obviously for them as well, that we want to watch. uh, but it's good for them to know, to have those boundaries. I think it works so far to have those boundaries, that okay, now is mommy and
Yeah.
daddy's time. You had your time with your TV and in the day, and now they know they have to go to bed as well because it's evening time, and now we're gonna have our time together, you know. So it works, but I know it's gonna change because they're getting older, and it's going to change. That's why I say so far it works.
Soon you will watch 50 Shades of Grey together.
Oh no, no.
No, not that soon.
No.
But you know, let us know, like, what do you wish not to share with your partner? Yeah, let us know what is that thing that you kind of share because he's there, but you prefer not to. And also, what I'm interested in, like, do tell them, or do suffer in silence and say, "Oh, you know," because that's important. Like, do we know how to communicate it, whatever it is, and how to compromise with our partner? Because, you know, those little things, those are the little things, but believe it or not, like, they cause the arguments in a families. But behind it is not actual remote control or whatever it is, but it's often your own frustration, not able to say that, hey, you know, I actually prefer, this doesn't work for me, I actually prefer to do this or watch this, or, you know, go to
Yeah.
sleep now, or, you know. So a lot of times, and that's what I'm teaching my women as well, it's not about, you know, partner. A lot of times we are frustrated with partner, but it's actually really fundamentally deep inside frustration with ourselves, that we are not able to say and stand up and for ourselves in a very loving way. It doesn't have to be confrontational, but actually say what we need. So Anyway, I didn't want to go that deep, but I thought I mentioned it there. So that's so much about sharing. Let us know what about sharing doesn't work for you and what you would like to have it different. The Do you want to say anything? Sorry,
I
Susan.
was thinking about food sharing.
Food sharing. Yeah.
Food sharing. My husband loves sharing food, and I do sometimes. There are times when I do like to share, but sometimes when, for example, when we go to a restaurant or something, get and I was like, oh, this is what I really like, and I want to eat this, and I'm gonna order this, and then he orders his, and then our children, and then it's like, do you want to share? I said, and he likes to share. He wants to, and I was like, no, I'm okay. Sometimes I feel so bad because he wants to share. He's willing to share his, and he's used to that. But then I ordered this. I really like this, and I do say to him, I say, I really like this. But if feel free to have some of mine. I offer him because I don't usually eat everything. It's big portions. But I don't want to take his because I really like mine.
Yeah. It's, we have it other way around. Every time we order something, like he orders food that I like, and I'm like, I give him those dog eyes. He just knows. I don't have to say anything. He's like, do you want some of mine? He looks at my plate. This looks really boring. And he's like, do you want some of mine? And I was like, yeah. Okay, you can have half.
Oh,
But I have to say, my husband is so good. He always leaves me better meat. And actually, in this, I must say, you wouldn't believe this, but my husband is actually more thoughtful in terms of leaving the food for me. I sneakily eat the last chocolate, but he's the one who leaves the last bit for me. I mean, it's just one of the many reasons
nice.
why I love him for. But I'm getting better. I must say, out of love, I'm learning to share a little bit more of the best things that I love. Anyway, we've got a comment. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it here. Susie, can you see it as well? Do you want to read it? Or
I have to check. Sorry. I'm gonna check it on my computer because I don't want to touch the phone.
no, don't touch the phone. Okay, I read this one just because it's here.
Yes.
So Ruska is sending us a message. My ex-husband didn't like the word compromise, the word compromise, and would not compromise with me. One of the reasons why he is the ex-husband is very interesting, huh? Because I guess one of the things in marriage is compromises, right? And it's not always easy because some of the things is very easy to compromise about, but some of the things, that are more serious or more fundamental things that are touching maybe our sensitive spots, so that's harder to compromise about. But let us know which things you are not willing to compromise about. Where is your boundary set? I would be interested in that as well. Another thing that we miss, because we are talking about what marriage we miss about being single, is being able to do what I want, whenever I want, when I want it, how long I want it for. So this is a kind of big one, huh? Because
Yes.
I remember back in the days when I was single, that was ultimate, like, absolute freedom, right? Like, you just kind of went. If you fancied, you went there. If you didn't like it, you went home, or you stayed all night, or kind of that kind of life is the total ultimate freedom of the single person's life. And I must say, when I was writing this one, I never had any limitations in terms of my husband when we've been married without kids. The limitations came when the kids came. So,
Yes.
so I was very lucky and fortunate with this. It doesn't mean that I could just stay up all night and not let my husband know. Of course, I was always letting him know, because just so he knows I'm safe and all the rest of it. But I can't say, I know that I was once doing the course I could have done in London, but I went to San Francisco because I fancied it a little trip. And my husband went, okay, like he was like, really, do you need to travel 8 hours to do this course when it's the same in London? I was like, oh, really fancy. He's like, okay.
Yeah, I
So
had a
I never
similar.
had limitations, and I
Me
never
too.
posed limitations on him. Like, he just came back on Monday from Greece. He went out for holidays, my husband, with his boys, and genuinely never once I was thinking, oh, bastard, he's going on holidays without me. It never crossed my mind,
But it's
like I was
based
really
on
pleased for him.
trust. That is based on trust, isn't it? There must be that trust, mutual trust, that, knowing that he knew that when you go away, you're going away for a reason, and there is nothing else behind
Yeah.
it. And the same, you trusted him as well. So we had that as well. So yeah, but then when we, like I said, before we had children, we were together, I think 6 years or something. And then it was like, all right, so we've got this freedom, we're together. We bought, we got a house and started renovating it. And so what's next? What's next? The kind of, that's when I was thinking, like, well, what is the next? Is it going to be the next destination because we like traveling together and doing? Is it going to be the next destination, and then, or for us, it really lost the kind of meaning, deeper meaning in life. Like, it made sense to start a family. Obviously, we could have gone to more places and enjoyed having breakfast together, or not, those things, but it became more boring than fun. It was like, what's next? We're going to be doing this for the rest of our lives. So that's why I say, it was a progress. So being married makes sense still to me, and the things that I miss, obviously I do miss them, and being single, not being single, but those little things I do miss, but I can make them if I want, and make it work. But there is no like, I would like to be single or something like that. There is no thoughts like that. I don't feel like that.
It's a good marriage. But also, like, your
Well, you
priorities
never know,
change, right?
but
Like,
so far.
yeah. I had a period, maybe 2 or 3 years, when in between my marriages, where I just, kind of needed to experience that life of a single woman, and just go wild. And I was, dancing a lot, and I was going to parties, and it was something that was overdue, because I got married in my first marriage very, very young. So I can relate to women who get married very young, and they didn't have opportunity to,
Yes,
explore and travel, and they kind of always have that
exactly.
little bit of longing of the
Yes.
single life. But I think it all depends, really. But if you get married, if you're getting married in a stage of that kind of feeling that, what, I done all that, I experienced it, it was great fun, but now I'm kind of longing for something else, some kind of stability, and this family home life is making me actually fulfilled.
Yes.
I remember when I got to the stage where I'm like, I don't fancy to go to the party, but like good wine with friends, like sit around and talk, like that really fills my heart much more than dancing all night. And
Exactly.
I don't say that sometimes I don't have that even now, like that feeling like, oh my god, I would go for a good party. I have it very much less now, but having kids, I must admit I had that. But then I went to Prague recently, and I had I was up all night, and I had a fun. But I remember the feeling when I was coming back home, thinking to myself, do you know what? It was great. I don't regret I went, but I'm so glad to come home, and I'm kind of filled for another, year of this, or few months of this, and
exactly.
So that's good, and it's good to be tuned in where you are at in your life, and whether you're not escaping from marriage that doesn't work, work, to kind of, you know, just get out of the house, to have that space for yourself. It's good that we are talking about this, because all of us can
Exactly. It's
reflect.
good to talk about it, and then it's good to have those longings or those feelings of, okay, this is what I miss, or this is what I don't like. And it's good to talk about it. That's why we're having this conversation. So yeah. So what's the next one? The next one is having full control over my money. That's another one. Yes. It's not the missing, but when you have your, because obviously before you get married, when you're single, you have got your own finances, you make your own money, and what you do with it, you need to manage it. But you know, that is that control over it, and then it changes, doesn't it? When you get married, some people keep their own accounts of money. Some people have joint. So yeah, again, it's probably depends. I kept my own account, my personal account, so I still have my own, and we have joint account as well. So it gives me that kind of independence, like, you know, that I have control of what I do and what I bring, and then he has his. But then we've got joint account as well, so there is no It seems to work again.
It is no right or wrong, it's whatever works for you. But I think it's very important, and the whole dynamics also, when I'm speaking to my women, changes a lot with women going to maternity leave. You know, those first couple of years, sometimes like women don't have, you know, suddenly don't have the income they used to have. And everything needs to be reshuffled and shifted, and many times, you know, they get to the guilt mode. In a couple of weeks we will be talking about guilt, ladies, and what not to feel guilty about. And this is one of the things that women feel guilty about, that, you know, I'm no longer, you know, kind of bringing money to the family, so I'm not, you know, I'm not going to buy that dress, or, you know, it's too much money to pay for that course, or, you know, whatever it is you want. And but
because we were used to, you know, now obviously women work and they have a career, or, you know, business or whatever, and, you know, when you're pregnant and or when you go to maternity leave or looking after your children, then that stops basically, or is massively reduced. So yeah, that's another thing. And then you know, to do the finances, like, kind of, because you were used to having all the money to yourself and manage it, but now there's children, now there is household, now there is food for everyone to buy, there is bills, there's everything. So yeah, it's to part with your money, that you, even if you, first of all, you might not have any of yours because you're on maternity leave or whatever, and then secondly, if you do have some, then it's not just you anymore.
And expenses are so much more, right? Like once children come.
So what you used to wear, what you were used to, like buying nice things for yourselves, you know, nice shoes, handbags, going out, now it's going to children.
And very common theme that I'm experiencing is that between men and women, interestingly, is that we appear to men that we love to spend a lot, and men appear to us that they like to, you know, hurdle money and save, because the security thing is very common. I'm not saying it's everywhere, but it's very common cause for arguments as well in marriages. Oh, you spend so much money, and, you know, she sees it as something, you know, beneficial, or some, you know, like from different point of view. I mean, money is very interesting. We have a different views on a money, and different relationships with the money. Veronica is laughing. She's saying, haha, exactly what women like to spend, and men don't want to give. Yeah, I mean, you know, my husband is a very generous person, and I, you know, I can't complain about that, but still, you know, I must admit, like at the beginning of relationships, I was still in that mode. Like, why should I, I'm earning money. Why should I consult with him spending on this, even if it was expensive?
Yeah.
But because I was in kind of that independent, whatever. But then I learned, not because I had to, but because again, it was my choice, that it would be nice to, you know, speak to him about it. Not like asking for permission, but it would be nice to kind of, speak to him about it and about why I consider that to be important for me, and so he gets my world, and we kind of align with it together.
Mm.
But again, like you learn these things as you go through
Yeah.
the
Yes.
marriage and different kind of situations, and I'm very pleased that it came to me naturally without him being the kind of man who often says, no, from now on you are going to be, everything will go through me, and you will have allowance, because that happens sometimes in a families
Yes.
as well, right?
But also, if you if you want to know, I mean, when the relationship is serious, yes, and you're going to, for example, it's going to be long term, whether you choose to get married or not, and stay together. You want to know, as a woman, we want to know, because that's our natural thing. We want to know whether we have a man that will be able to take care of us when we have children or something like that. So if you want to know what he is doing with his money, because at the beginning, okay, it's fun and that and free, but then if it's getting serious, you want to know. Yeah, so if you want to know that and find out and see that, then you have to show as well. You have to, it's both of you, so you need to share and you need to be open about it.
And it depends on the degrees how man is about this whole thing, but I think it's possible to look at it from women's perspective, at it from the point of view like, okay, well, it's actually very good that he's this responsible,
Yeah.
because there is the other side of things where men like don't care and spend, and I would be more nervous about that. So it's actually good to appreciate him for it, and then seeing understanding of, because the typical thing, like, I love to buy beautiful things for my home, like, and they all cost money, right? Like when it adds up and da, da, da. But then the home is beautiful not just for me, for all of us. And he doesn't realize sometimes that I need to kind of buy those covers for the pillows, and it takes time to order it, measure it, like,
Yeah.
and he just sees the effect of it, but the cost is there. So it's important to explain to men that, listen, honey, the reason why we feel good in this household is because I pay attention to those little things that don't cross your mind, and we spend a little money on it, but the effect is that we are all feeling very nice, here in our
Yeah,
home. Anyway,
exactly.
so that's, sorry, Susanna,
No,
you
and
wanted to say something.
I was going to say, and then school, once the children start going to school, there's expenses, we all know, you pay for lots of things, and after school clubs and this and that and food and lunches and that. So I also, we talk about it, because I pay for that. So we have like things that we like, bills and things that we pay. He pays his whatever we decided or agreed that he's going to pay, and then I'm paying this for children, all these things that activities and all of that. But you don't really, like you say, you don't really see that, and and then it needs to be discussed, because if it's not, then the money is spent. And then it's like, where is the money gone? Well, it's gone to this class, it's gone to that class, gone to lunch. They go away. The kids, they go on trips and this and that, uniforms and shoes, as we know. It just goes. So it's to be open about it and talk about it all straight away as it comes or when it happens. I think for me, for our relationship works.
Yeah, very good. Veronica sent a really interesting comment.
Yeah.
Veronica is joining us from Uganda, and she said, in Uganda, men give upkeep to their women besides taking care of the rent, house bills, and kids' fees. One day I had ex-girlfriend complaining to me um, that her boyfriend wasn't even giving her enough money weekly. That's so interesting, isn't it?
Yes,
Because thank you for that comment, because we have a different cultures, obviously, and
exactly.
I know in some countries there is or some cultures that there are men who can have as many women as they can, as long as they can afford them, right? So
Yeah,
like certain kind of standard of life. So that's really interesting, huh?
yeah.
And
And that's important to say that you see, it's not just the little units that we have together as husband and wife and family. It goes wider, it goes wider. It goes into culture, it goes into family, family, whatever they traditions and things like that, what they used to. So yeah, it is. Thank you for that comment. Yeah. And how do
you.
yeah. So Uganda upkeep their women, yes. So so it's their responsibility. Is that right? It's the men's responsibility to look after the women.
Or they feel it culturally.
Yes.
It seems like it's something very normal that is
Yes,
even
of course.
boyfriend. Veronica said,
So
not even
imagine,
married.
as a man, you have
Allowing
to
for your
really do the main breadwinner and do all the work
yeah
and bring all the money in.
yeah. Tammy, it's funny because we have the most comments so far on a money thing. Tammy's greeting us from Las Vegas. Hi, Tammy. Okay, let's go to another one, which is no less interesting. Getting attention from other people. So, very common, huh?
Yes.
Very common. We are talking about what married women miss about being single. So, it's getting attention from other people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice, when someone gives you a nice comment, isn't it? Even if you're married, I mean, it's nice. That's us women. Yeah, we would like to be nice. We like to be feminine, and it's nice to have a nice comment.
Yeah.
And whether it's your husband to appreciate that, you look nice today, or it's someone, a friend, or but it's nice to hear that. But do you really miss like the single getting attention, or do you miss that?
Do I miss that? Well, be honest here, it is different. It's different when your husband gives you attention and someone completely new gives you compliment, or girls are sending thumbs up, giving a compliment, or I mean,
it's nice. Yeah,
I was watching in the garden. I was watching young people at the day, and people watching, and they've been like kind of flirting going on, and I could feel the tension, that thing that we used to have when we've been teenagers, those butterflies, those things that are, let's face it, hard to recreate in 10, 11, 20 years old marriage. Not impossible, but it's different, because that novelty will never be there. That kind of thought of, I wonder what he's thinking, and I wonder how he would be in kissing, or of course we all have these thoughts, and it's no crime, it's normal, it's natural. I know my husband's look at women, and God, I'm grateful he does, because I mean that everything is fine. I'm going to read the comments because I'm curious. It's saying, funny, I'm getting more attention this way. When I got married, it feels like it feels nice, but when it continues, it's bit uncomfortable. I agree.
Mm,
I
yes,
agree. And it
exactly.
depends how men give you this kind of attention. I was talking to my nanny the other day, and I was like, I think men are scared of me because I think I've got it written on my forehead, like, I'm married, leave me alone. So please don't be scared. I still like to get a compliment.
Yeah, especially when you have two children you know, with you
Yeah.
around you. So yeah, but because of that, you know, it's nice to hear it, because just
Yeah.
because we have children and we are moms, and it's nice to hear that, okay, you still look nice, you made an
Yeah.
effort today to look
Yeah.
nice. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's nice, we like
Completely.
it.
And especially, those first couple of years when women a lot of times like put on weight after pregnancy, and they are like, it's probably one of the best things you can give, like, a little compliment. Please, man, give us a compliment. We always appreciate it, and we
Yes.
like it. Okay, next, we can stay with this one forever, but we move on. Eating random things for dinner and cooking new things. It's a little one,
Well,
but
we've covered about
we
eating,
covered that.
sharing, sharing, but cooking new things. Yes, there's something it's written there. I miss trying new creative meals when cooking. My husband is so picky, and he likes pretty basic foods. So you like it, you like enjoying cooking new things, and he doesn't.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the survey I was doing.
Oh, when
Like,
you were all
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It was the survey I was doing. I just put a little quotes there.
Okay. So all right.
I don't know how is it in your families. I mean, in my family, I'm very lucky because I know what my husband likes, and I like to cook it for him. But he's
Mm-hmm.
also very flexible. Like, I know, like, some families, men wouldn't go without warm dinner with the soup starter. Like, it's like
Yeah.
fundamentally basic thing that he requires every day. My husband is very, very flexible this way because we lived in UK for many years, and you know how it is, like, sometimes we come home at 8 o'clock in the evening and you're in a traffic jam, so it's not really even possible to cook in the evening every day, fresh meal or whatever. So he's very happy to get the roll of bread and have a ham sandwich, in the evening. Obviously, with kids is now different.
Yeah. And it
How is it
also
with?
helps when you live on your own. Like
Hmm.
your husband lived on his own and had to probably cook for himself and provide for himself in that sense, lived away from his family and from his mom. And I think that helps because my husband was like that as well. Um, so he's not really like relying on me to cook, so he can, and he likes cooking. I'm again lucky, and I like cooking as well, but it helps when I just feel like, what am I going I don't feel like cooking today because it's breakfast, lunch, dinner. When the kids are at school, they have school lunches now, so it's good. But when it's half term or it's holidays, it's and now the kids are growing up, they eat more. So it's like I feel like I don't know, restaurant to prepare
Yeah.
breakfast, then lunch, then dinner, and then snacks in between, and then washing up. So it's not all on me. So he does that. He cooks and he likes cooking, and he makes breakfast when we're eating together in the week. Now that the kids are getting older, they can get their own cereal, so and things like that. So it's getting easier, but I'm trying to say that we're sharing that,
Yeah.
and it's good because I just I don't know how women do it. I admire them to do breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything be ready. But again, it depends on the culture, on the dynamics of the family, and what the roles are in the family, isn't it? So we both work.
Expectations. Yeah.
Yeah, so we both work now, and I work from home. So I'm mostly looking after the children and picking them up from school and do all that. And he's out in his office. So when he comes from the office, then he makes dinner if he comes on time. If he doesn't, then I make dinner. So, so it's
And
nice.
Simon cooks well. You fed us in Croatia.
Yeah, yeah, he likes cooking. Like I said, he loves it. So I'm lucky.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
irons his own shirts. So that's good because, like I said, when we
Yeah.
before we got together, he lived on his own. So he had to iron his shirts. There was no one to iron them for him. So I was like, I'm not going to start doing that. You can carry on doing it. But I do iron his shirts, and he appreciates it. He likes it. So
Well,
he even appreciates it when I do it for him.
that's what I wanted to say. I also like to be in a relationship where man doesn't expect it, because I don't think it would be such a joy. You know, like when I have that freedom, like I don't have to. That makes me feel like I want to. Yes,
Yes,
makes sense.
exactly.
And let us know how
Yeah.
you have it. Does your man, you know, is your man flexible? Is he eat a lot of meat? My husband is a meat eater. He likes especially like how it's called, beef, like stews and that kind of thing. I always makes him very happy with that. So let us know. Let us know. Okay, another one really quickly because we are getting to last few minutes.
Yes.
Having a clean space, girls.
Oh yes.
So, is your
It
house
used to annoy me.
cleaner
It
when
used
your
to,
man is not around? Is the question.
yeah, it used to annoy me that, where I know where when I don't know where things are. So, for example, we've got like in the kitchen there are things they've got their own place, and when they're not there, and you go there looking for it, and it's not there. And my husband was expert for that. He was just like he would just put it anywhere on top of the wardrobe or in the. I was like, I needed that thing.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah.
He said, and he started looking for it. I said, you had it last.
Yeah.
So I said, it's got it, and I taught him that and the children, like, this is where it lives. So when we need it, when we need it, then we know it's there. So when you use it, put it back where it was. It's kind of my obsession. Like everything's got its own place, like in the house, because when you need to use it, it's there.
Yeah, I've got
That's my
another one.
thing.
My nannies are used to it, and my husband also. Like they know when something is misplaced, like window cleaner is on a kitchen table.
Yeah.
They know that for me is a sign that I need to do something with it. You know, like clean the, like windows
Yeah.
or like mirrors because of kids touched
Yeah.
it with a muddy hands or something. So they kind of know that they don't put it away because I've got some kind of plan with it, which is really
Okay.
cute.
Yeah.
And my nanny even knows now after those years that she does it herself, like very, very cute.
So if we lived together, I would be constantly taking it, putting it back where it's supposed to be, and you would be taking it, putting it where that you want to.
I would be mad because it would be like, oh God, I forgot it. Yeah. Nina is saying, my husband doesn't eat red meat, very rare for men. Yes. However, when I cook and want to do something vegetarian, do you want to starve me once there's some fish or chicken? I totally agree with you. When I make a goulash, my husband loves goulash, and when I don't put enough beef in it, he said, "What is this, mosquitoes?" he's gotta say like, "What is this, mosquitoes?" And I always laugh because his expression is like, "Where the hell is the meat?"
Yeah.
Anyway, it's funny. So clean space, yeah. Let us know. Question is your household cleaner when your husband is not there, and are the things in place more?
It's definitely now definitely more organized. Let's say it that way. It's more, everything is where it's supposed to be, and it's clean. But also the children. It's not just my husband. I have to say, it's the children.
Yeah. Now it's hard to tell because it's all mixed up. Yeah, I will say the last one for you, so
yes,
give you,
please,
because you've been asking me about this word. Having another kind of idiosyncrasies that never get called out, which means, you know, anything else that you miss about not being single. So what one of my friends said, like squeezing the toothpaste a certain way is a common one. I actually had a few girlfriends saying this to me, that, you know, like when you're squeezing toothpaste, like men are kind of doing it, sorry man, I'm generalizing again, but you know, kind of lazy way, when you squeeze from the top and then you have to do the hard job to, you know, squeeze from the bottom. I always squeeze from the bottom so it's easier for everyone. It's the little things, right?
Yeah.
Toilet seat, common.
I don't have those or the toothpaste, yes, but I know it's yeah, it's very common.
Very common. I don't have that, but the toilet seat I
No,
know is a
toilet
common.
seat, yes.
Yeah. Or one of my girlfriends was like, I miss, you know, just lying on a couch watching the TV without anyone coming behind me saying, what are you up to? You know, she's like, leave me alone, I have my own bubble.
Yeah.
You know? And it's normally, she
Exactly.
said, it's normally when he wants sex. What are you up to? And I know it's like, oh god, let me just
Yeah.
watch this.
I just want to be so quiet and watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's
Or
yours?
just, you know, watching the movies and having that space like soap, you know, with romantic movie, and not feel like silly for doing it, or making a laugh of like, oh god, you know, you're in tears again, and it's not even that dramatic. Yeah. So I mean,
There was
what else?
one
Anything?
before I saw remote control, something about remote control, like sharing remote control. That's probably or deciding what to watch.
Yeah. Last comment, toilet seat, we sorted out from the start. Nina's got it sorted.
Yeah.
I don't like it open. We close it, then whoever goes in has to open one for, or both parts. My friend's friend, apparently, and I think this is over the top, but I think she saw it in Wife Swap, taught her husband to pee while he's sitting. Now, I apologize. I wouldn't go that far. But she was like, if he wants to stay,
Yeah.
I mean, so there, I mean, to me, it
He's
looks
willing to do it, you know, and it
he's
doesn't
willing to
cause,
do it, yeah.
yeah, it doesn't cause any, it doesn't matter to him, or it's not too, you know, it doesn't cause any problems, then it's fine.
It's fine, whatever
Yeah,
works.
whatever works for you, isn't it? It's all about, I think it's all about communication and compromise as well. How and being clear about what you want and what you like, and compromise there as well, because we have to compromise things like that.
Things
So
are much
yeah,
easier in our married or partnerships, married lives or partnerships. So guys, we are going to wrap up. Oh my god, we are exactly 11. Thank you so much, Susie, for coming, and thank you for all of you watching. Keep on writing to us. Well, you know, I think we opened a lot of little subjects, so let's have a fun with this. Let us know how you have it, because when we share, we contribute to each other. We can laugh, or we can even discover something new about how it can be, or how we would prefer for it to be, or, you know, things that we didn't even think about that can make our lives easier or smoother, or, you know, like more fun. So thank you for watching. Susie, have a nice day. Anything from your side?
no, thank you. It was really nice being here. It was fun. And yeah, I will go back and read all the comments and reply, because yes, and keep commenting, because it's really, yeah, it's really interesting.
It's very interesting. Thank you for commenting. I will always read them all later on. And you guys have a beautiful weekend, and we will see you in a couple of weeks' time again.
Have a nice weekend, everyone. Bye.
Bye.